Well, hello there. My name is RG, and this is my hacienda, my studio. And welcome again to Behind the Scenes at RG Studios. This is another episode. And I tell you what, I just got through finishing the movie Progress and Crisis. I just love making these internet art films. You know, as a kid, I had imaginations as a kid growing up. After I got introduced to movies and such, I wanted to have a place that I could work in to do my craft. This is it. You know, I gotta go to work every day. This is it. We all gotta have something, don't we? Something to live for. And this is what I do. Now, speaking of that, I'm gearing up for my next internet art film, Thicket and Thin Shades of Evil. This is a military hardware type of film about men, their hardware, and their rationale, why they do the things they do. And it's going to show when I'm done with this one. This is my plans now, and you heard it first right here. My plans is to show the film at Warren Theaters. I now have embraced screening at the Warren Theater. Yes, that was an amazing thing. Let me take a moment and tell you about that. The Masked Man in April, this past April. Fantastic. It was amazing. It was practically a full house. It was like 2 rows of seats that were empty, way up front. Everything where I was standing by the balcony, near the front or end, toward the door, all the way up, nothing but people. Brought a tear to my eye. Yes, it did. It was great. Fantastic. So great that I made it part of the studio's budget to do at least 1 film a year, internet art film. I had to reshuffle my numbers and everything. I can do about 1 film a year at the Warren Theaters, 1 screening. I'm going to call that Cinema Red Carpet Screening. Yeah. All right. If you're ever in Wichita and you see one's playing, drop in. It's for free. And you'll love the experience of an internet art film. Now, speaking of men and their hardware and their rationale and so forth and so on, there's a little inspiration I have today. And that inspiration comes from, this is a goodie, Mr. Howard Hughes himself. Now, I just read this book here. It's called Howard Hughes, The Hidden Years. I've been fascinated with this fella ever since the early 80s. When I read a little article, I believe it was in a Playboy magazine. I read an article. I don't know how true it was at the time, but when I read the article and the stuff that went with it, it was like this was a well-researched article that I had little information about. That article gave me information to a fella that I had read, very little about, but the myth of his lifestyle, the way he lived, was interesting. Now, myth versus reality. Ooh, the man-haters, the people who worked around Howard Hughes. Very interesting. If a tidbit of that is truth, then the collection of truth that comes to mind supersedes the myth that some of us, including myself, believe about Howard Hughes. A whole lot of crazy behaviors. Since I've had experiences with my own drug addiction and alcohol addiction, I can testify to when I'm reading about something of this nature and I hear the symptoms. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, this man was he in his core circle, he was very secretive. He was a tyrant, and he had phobias, and he was a drug addict. So, wow, a billionaire, drug addict, imagine that. The man had everything. And you tell me that I didn't quite grapple with that. After my own drug addictions and so forth. Yeah, yeah. He was just like us. He was human. He wasn't anything else, and he had flaws. Okay, today, for behind the scenes, I got something very interesting for you. I don't do a lot of behind the scenes, as you well know. But when I do, I like to show you what I got and I capture it. It's like a gem. It's like digging through sand and you find a rough diamond. This one here is when I was doing makeup for my brother, on my brother. in the film for the Internet Art Film War at Red Rock. I was putting on a scar. And in this, I'm going to show you how I, in this studio, RG Studio, create scars. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that create scars in many different ways. I can't really say how I come about this, but it was in the early days when I was beginning to make film that I had these thoughts about trying to do that. As I have come to a ripe old age now, I have cultivated and cultured my craft. And I'm going to show you how I now make scars that stems way back in the time and for the Internet Art Film War at Red Rock. And then I'll be back to talk to you. Alright, I'm going to put on this scar for the character J.D. Russ on the actor. Oh, baby. Actor real. I don't know why.
Where that come from?
Yeah, I don't know why that's all was there, but you know.
This motherfucker buy me a pack of cigarettes, expect me to act all day.
Oh, come on, man. Stop
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Kids ain't gonna want to hear all that.
Oh,
Oh, you already said his name now, so I believe.
exciting. Marvelous. Yeah, you know.
Now you know why I gotta put up. Now you know why I use puppets in my films and don't deal with real people. Behind the scenes, makeup, War at Red Rock. This is putting a makeup scar on Ephraim Miller. He's playing the role of J.D. Russ.
Yeah.
Oh, I swear to God.
This is why I use puppets.
Yeah, that's why I use puppets.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with anything else, now you know. I use yarn and string to represent the scar. And then I use the white latex look color to blend in this weekend shot. After I get done doing all this, I'm gonna be too tired.
Yeah, you'll be thinking about Norway.
Okay. Yep, this is the scar. Now, it's probably not consistent with the other scar, but when I work in my studio, I'm not really worried about all of that. Okay, this is part of the costume, so this is what you're going to be looking like, huh?
This way somebody done work me over.
This is not a comedy, man. Oh, okay. How you feeling?
I feel all right.
Yeah, you think you're going to be able to pull this part off?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you feel comfortable and creative?
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we're going to put a few more scars up there.
Oh, shit. Here
and
we
then, then we're going to move on. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of RG Studios Behind the Scenes of RG Studios. You know, that was an interesting moment, and that was an interesting time for the Internet Art Film War at Red Rock. That was my brother in a cameo appearance as J.D. Russ. And I did the makeup for him. I do those things here at RG Studios, you know. And what you see behind me is the props and stuff for the upcoming Internet Art Film Thicket and Thin Shades of Evil. The military men and their military armor. Yes, and the way that they think. Yes. I just love the way people think. I'm fascinated with the mental capacity. That's another thing I'm fascinated with, is why we do the things we do. You know? But anyway. And anyway, come back again in another 3 months or so. And I'll have another episode from behind the scenes at RG Studios. Until then, you guys enjoy yourself and have a nice day. Talk to you later.